Mic check. You're now tuned in with Mike J. You know the host that do the most. How I feel when you got a rapper from the West Coast on the intro. So smooth. Now we can play the instrumental. Black top radio. Where you can come and get your fix. We be talking about your baby mamas or some politics. First station out where you can tune and hear the hottest. Ain't no filters, you hear all of it. You ain't really poppin' yet if you ain't never been a guest. Wait, let me guess, you got on next. Got the airwaves on flex. Boom. Black top, what did you expect? Black top radio. The black top radio. The black top. The black top.
It's a new year. We got to get touched.
We'll do a quick little touch.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the show where we like to get touched. And we get touched by one person only.
One person only.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It is time for a woman's touch with Miss Erica Kimberly. Ma'am, you may touch us.
All right.
When ready.
Yes. So we're kind of going to piggyback on everything that we've been talking about on the night. And I want to know, because I feel like this will always and forever be a constant theme in relationships. And the question is, how willing are most people to work through communication issues? Or is communication the deciding factor? And I want you guys to be very clear on this. Because think about your past relationships. You've kind of, despite failed communication and all, you've always been willing or maybe have given it a shot. Or have you been that person who, once the communication goes down, if they disappear, I'm out too? Where do you guys stand with this? Because I have been that person who I've seen failed communications or ways where communication can be improved and decided to work through that and still is, working through that. Right? So I'm like, ooh, communication may always be a thing that I'm willing to work through.
Because it seems like communication is the basis of every single little thing.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's the basis of a relationship.
Hello.
Yeah. Like,
and depending on what that communication is, like how big is it, right? Like now the communication details are small, but it's like, it's just respecting, babe. Just like, let me know, keep me in the know. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to back then, It was like, damn, like you really don't understand. I need to know this because blah, 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 blah. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like,
So, okay, give me the question again, Erica. I want to make sure I'm answering it
how big is communication for you? Is this something an issue that you would work through with your significant other and have? Or has that been a deciding factor in your relationships where once they don't or fail to communicate, you're out? Or does it depend on the person? Shit. Your face was like, woo!
Now, question is does this because some people's love languages are different.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Some people are less words, more action.
Facts.
Some people are less words, more gifts, more,
Yes.
So, for me, I'm more of an action guy. I'm not too much of a word guy,
Yes.
I'll say I love you, but sometimes I like proving it versus just, you know what I'm saying? So
that's why I don't like you motherfuckers.
Well, shit.
But see, and a part of that, also the part of the communication is also communication on how you receive it.
See, the problem with that is,
I hate your ass too, Yvette.
you may show how you appreciate or love someone in your love language, but it's not necessarily theirs. So I'm not receiving what you're throwing out because that's not how I interpret love.
Yep, that's not how she communicates either.
So
She talks it and also walks it, right? So she's not used to somebody just walking it, and that was me.
Right.
It was like, damn, I almost had to come to a mirror conversation like, okay, look, bitch, you can either communicate about this not being a factor, or you can try to see it from a different perspective and understand that maybe it's time for you to receive the way he's communicating his love to you through action, which is a great thing. So I don't want to take away from men who show up through action. Right?
And that's the hard part for me.
Right.
Because
I'm with you. I stand with you.
The action I get.
Yeah.
So you may say, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you have a place to live and you have a car and you have this and you have that.
Yeah.
But it's like all I ever wanted was for you to tell me you love me and give me a kiss.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for none of this shit.
Yeah.
I fell victim to that a couple of times. But see, the problem is that we're influenced as men
Yes.
to just
Yeah.
Show up.
do more, say less.
It all depends on the man too and how that man was brought up.
I mean, that's true too.
So it's a fine line when it comes to shit like that. Because the way you were brought up was to be a man in your eyes, but the way I interpret love, because I've never had a man in my life like a father do that. So my interpretation of love is just give me a kiss, give me a hug, tell me you love me.
Just be
That's
there.
it. That's all I need. But you providing is your love, because that's what you were shown in your household. That's where communication plays a big part, because you have to understand each other and meet each other halfway at some point.
Yeah.
But here's what the big problem is. A lot of people don't see is that once you commit and you say I love you, you've already accepted the way that they love.
Okay.
At
So now
at that moment.
It's too. I mean, yeah, you could grow.
But love is an action. So love means still to do.
Absolutely.
But also part of that doing in the art of doing love is meeting your partner halfway. Like, I love my dude enough to say, all right, let me try to change things about me and understand how you're communicating with me to make sure that I'm receiving you well, because I love you enough to receive you just the way you are. You know what I'm saying? The same way, like, you know, you would have to receive your girl who just needs to hear you say that. And that's what I do have to understand. Like, look, sometimes I just need I need to hear you. Send me that cute text. And you know what I mean? Like, we need to see it visually. Sometimes we're like visuals.
Yeah,
we want to have the
very
moment,
much
the
so.
memory. We want to have the moment to look back in the text and say, oh, look what he sent me.
He said he loved me
You see
right
what I'm
here.
saying?
And
Yeah.
this is what he
Not,
said.
he paid the light bill. Like he's supposed to, bitch.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's where, like, I will never take away from a guy who is used to providing and wants to provide and wants to do those things. But also, although you are a provider, you have to understand that you were raised to the guidelines of your household and not your lover. So you have to know her love language, aside from what you were brought up thinking that a man was supposed to do.
True. So I mean, so this seems like it's more of a male versus female communication.
No,
thing
it's
that I see.
not.
And I mean,
I think it's a communication. It's not male versus female. It's a household versus household. It's how you were brought up versus how she was brought up.
That's true.
What she expects versus what you were brought up on. It's vice versa.
That's true.
No, communication falls into everything from relationships to business and work.
Right.
Think about it. Like, I work in the corporate world. If I don't communicate to some degree where I am emotionally, physically, financially,
can
whatever
do
it
that?
is, I feel like I have managers safe
I
enough
can't
to.
do that in my
I have
shit.
managers safe enough where I could talk to. I mean, about like where I am emotionally. Like, look, I ain't feeling it today. That's why this been this. But even still, like if I'm not finna show up
Send
to
me a
work,
referral.
right? If I'm not finna show up to work, I still gotta send in that communication that I'm not gonna be there in a certain time to let just prepare my job for something. Blah 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 blah. Right? Communication falls into everything.
Yeah.
Parenthood, all of that. The kids, like, if you didn't like me if you didn't like the food I made, all you got to do is tell me, as opposed to me trying to force you to eat it. Hell, let me know you don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dead ass, a real conversation I had with my kid. So communication falls into so many avenues.
Now here's the problem with us men, right? And I will say, and admit,
stubborn. Y'all know every fucking goddamn.
well, some of them true. Yeah, some women like that too. But here's the thing. There's a meme actually going around right now. Y'all know the male head and the female head with the weave, and they be like, I saw one meme, the lady was like, are you okay? And the man said, I don't feel okay today. And she was like, man up, and the man walked away. Some men don't feel comfortable because maybe they never learned how to communicate as men to their woman, because there was maybe never a man in the home in the first place
And
to
that's
even
what
show
I'm saying.
that
That's what
man
I
how
said.
to even speak to a
That's
woman.
what I said. That's why I said it depends on the household type. It depends on the person. Everything is different. You expect a female to accept a man who provides when she comes from a household from a single mother.
Okay.
Listen, I'm so with the father being there to show and raise a man to be a man. But let me be clear, because I stand with Iyanla Van Zant when she says a man is who his mother makes him. A woman can absolutely get through to her son on how to communicate to other women. I believe that firmly, right?
That's true.
That's why we got, first of all, look at NBA young boy mama and him. Just that's one example, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the examples of good young black men out there who have good relationships with their mothers and who are just able to have genuine, real conversations. They feel safe around their mothers. They understand that their mothers have feelings. So obviously, naturally, when they get with the woman, they understand because their mother had feelings that the woman is going to have feelings, and they are going to be better to that woman because of the relationship they have with their mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like women, we could just gotta, if the father falls absent, we just gotta step it up and make sure that, look, we can't be hard on these young men, but we do need to be emotionally open to our sons and allow them to be open to us.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Because, I learned something, actually, last night I learned that, someone brought it to my attention that women commit a lot to potential of a man, right? And you may have seen flashes of that man to say, you know what, he really talks well. He has let me somewhat inside of how he's feeling. Now, if I could just stay consistent and stay here and really just break that barrier down, we'll be all good. The problem with us men is we feel like, damn, if I really let her into what's really fucked up inside about me, she's gonna look at me entirely different. When the sad part is, when y'all look at us, you see the beauty in us.
That's
we don't
why
see
y'all
that.
need therapy.
That's very true, because it's very traumatic for us men, because we come up in men our age. The young boys, they got it down together. They're talking more. Social media, live videos, whatever
No,
the case
they're
may be. They talking a little bit more than what we were.
Hopefully they got good mamas, you know what I'm saying?
That
Like
too.
us.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, for us in our generation, us men were taught to be a man, be a man. Don't sit here and you're crying too much. You're weak. You're a bitch. This, that, and the third. So, and then it's carried over to the women. Now the women, even some of the women in our generation feel like if you talk too much about your feelings, don't nobody want no crybaby ass nigga. So some of us feel like, damn, like as we get older and nobody has really instructed us that it's okay to talk about your feelings, even to a woman. If it creates a problem. And then if people tolerate it, or if people let it slide, or people accept it, or people say I love you for who you are, I'm not here to change you, this, that, and the third, you can't help but to be what they love, which is yourself.
Right.
So I think it's in the sense of, if you want somebody to communicate something, there's got to be some type of resistance put there for us to really get the picture of, damn, maybe we should open up. Because someone asked me, was like, well, how do I get actually it was for me, because I remember somebody consistently trying to get me to talk, and I just would not talk about my past, what I've been through, until they were missing. Now it's like, hold up. Now it makes you look at yourself as a man, and now you're seeing yourself for, damn, I have a real problem here. Had I just opened up more, she'd have still been here.
The problem is she wasn't the person that you wanted to open up to.
And not everybody deserves that too. But for some, you want to get there. But you really got to understand if somebody really getting in the inside of you for the good reasons or the bad reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It takes some time. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think it's too many people that communicate that well just like that. Like, it's people that argue off the bat. But eventually you get to a point where the words, the dialect, the sentences are a lot more soothing as time goes by. So I think, you gotta, it's something that you gotta work at. That's all I'm trying to say. Communication is something you gotta work at.
I agree, it's something that you gotta work at. I agree with that. Cause some situations I'm like, part of me feels like, oh my God, like when a man wants to be with a woman, it shouldn't be that hard. Like he's gonna get it together. He's gonna do what he gotta do. But then it's like the other side is like, you gotta think like a lot of these men are not coming from places of good guidance. And they're really like kind of starting their footing off on basically no man's land. Like they're just figuring it out too. So it's like, women, be gracious to that, but at the same time be smart about, action. Like I always believe in action. That's why I'm like, if a man is doing his part and there are other things that y'all can work at that, but his part is still being done. Like, look, if he's putting you through ish on top of ish on top of ish, maybe that's just not the one. You know what I'm saying? Like if if communication is just one of many issues, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, look, communication can be the one sole issue and you may have a good thing going.
Communication can always be the thing that you guys build upon as
Facts. That's why I'm like, so we all agree that it's one of those things that it is worth always working on.
It's very rare you see two people, a woman and a man, come together and the communication's just
facts.
Just
everything
automatic. It's going to be something. I always say everybody
from two different backgrounds.
Exactly.
Not to mention if like when life happens, look, financial situations may make somebody go silent. Ain't no communication when I'm about to lose my job. You know what I'm saying? Like things can happen. Are you willing to work through that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, But
it's just, I'll just say, from the sake of most men, we are afraid of opening up more. I wouldn't even say we're afraid, but it's a bit of a hesitation to open up more because we don't want to be judged. That's pretty much what it is. We don't want you to judge us and be like, damn, thought this man was strong, this man weak, and sadly, that shouldn't be the case, and more than likely it's not the case, but
sometimes it is.
I think that's one of the things that's helped my communication is kind of like me putting in my place of somebody who is like the mama, you know what I'm saying? Like to understand, like maybe this is your son, like just trying to like, the little boy in him just really can't get through this. Like this emotional moment, this confrontation is really startling him right now. Like the 8-year-old boy who can defend himself back then don't know how to fucking confront you coming at him with this, that, and the other.
Absolutely.
Calm down a little bit. Allow him to gather himself and proceed with conversation.
But
you know what I mean?
What I have learned is that most women feel like in those situations where your man doesn't open up, y'all feel like it's you. What am I doing wrong? Like, hey,
why you don't want to talk to me?
I deserve
you don't care.
Right.
You don't care at all.
When actually it's nothing wrong with y'all. It's everything wrong with us.
They don't know. They just can't form the words right now.
I agree.
They need a second. That's all.
Everybody's situation is different. Every person is different. Every background is different. You just have to gauge the situation based on that person.
Because there's an ounce of trash in everybody.
You can't present every shit the same way.
Everybody got a little trash in them.
Yeah, you can't approach it every way.
That's true. That's extremely true.
Good. Well, I love that you guys agreed that, communication when it's with someone that you love is always something that you're willing to work through, and it's not one of those things that is the deal breaker. No. Communication is as real as always working for, you know what I mean, or towards.
Ladies, don't give up.
I agree. Don't give up. Guys, don't give up.
That's true.
I agree, definitely. Yes. One of those that I've accepted.
Facts.
Really, Capricorn? No, I'm just kidding.
Shut your ass up. All right, Mike, let's end the show. So turn it on out.
Because them Capricorns, boy, they be running.
Let's turn it out.
They be running. I see why it's a deer. What's y'all sign? It's an antelope. What is it?
That's a
Impala.
Let's turn it out.
Go. Oh, okay.
To left.
Take it back now, y'all.
What's a good party if there are no drinks? Better yet, imagine turning up and not having to pour your old troubles for once. Or better yet, someone else's. Now that may be a big of a problem. Well, Bougie Bartender is a licensed and certified mobile bartending service that services any event, big or small, such as bridal showers, weddings, baby showers, corporate parties, and so much more. She also specializes in making virgin or non-alcoholic beverages for minors as well. If you need a bartender for your next event, call 804-855-8787. Again, that's 804-855-8787. And also check her out on Instagram at bougie_bartender_. Brook. That's Bougie Bartender _ BROOK. Shout out to Bougie Bartending, proud sponsor of the wildest radio show on the net, The Blacktop. Cheers. Run it back. Oh. Thank you so much for. All right. Thank you so much for. I'm too goofy, man. Thank you so much for watching our video. Now, if you don't mind, can you do us one more favor? Hit that subscribe button and also tap that bell notification. That way you're alerted about all of our live content, our live episodes, behind the scenes information, also live interviews with some of your favorite guests, and plus many more right here on Blacktop TV. Also, if you need more information about the show, follow us on Instagram, The Blacktop. That's DABLACKTOP, and you know me. Ha! I'm a poet, ain't even know it. I rhyme all the time. And that's about it.